12:05 in the afternoon on this Wednesday, and it's time for Helping Seniors of Brevard. I'm John Harper, your host of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Kerry Fink is off today. He's off this week visiting family in Atlanta, and so filling in for Kerry Fink, here is Jennifer Barton. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, John. It's wonderful to be here. Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thank you. So, John, we're here today along with a special guest from my own office at Seniors Helping Seniors. We have none other than Riki Montgomery, and it's her first time on the radio.
It is. Thank
Welcome,
you for
Riki.
having me.
Well, thank you for being here. So one of the things that we wanted to talk today about is Thanksgiving and the holiday. And we're coming up into the holiday season very quickly. It feels like Thanksgiving is late this year, and we're really going right into December next week, and then it's just going to be the ball rolling right into Christmas and New Year's. So we wanted to kind of stop and have everybody take a breath and think about the holidays and think about our seniors during the holidays. For most of us, we're really looking forward to tomorrow and Turkey Day and all of the fixings, being around family and friends. But for some of our seniors, it's moment of maybe sadness or feeling a little bit blue. We talk about a blue Christmas, but the whole holiday season can be a little bit, unfortunately, depressing for some of our seniors. And we wanted to talk about that a little bit and acknowledge that unfortunately some of our seniors are without family, or maybe, without a loved one for the very first time. Someone has passed over the year and it's the first time without mom at the Thanksgiving table, or maybe that tradition that mom always had is not going to be there this year. So kind of taking a step back and acknowledging those feelings, and those feelings are very valid, and seeing what can we do in order to kind of uphold, keep our peace throughout the holidays, and maybe bring a little bit more joy back into those holidays, even though maybe the people are missing, or maybe those traditions that we grew up with are not there anymore. So, Riki, you see this in some of the clients that we talk to on a day-to-day basis, whether we're out doing assessments or we're at a senior expo, or, we're kind of all the seniors all the time. We see where there's these changes and
yes, and I think people, I see a lot of our clients whose children live up north. They don't live in the same state. And oftentimes the kids will come down and visit, and for that short time, but then they go home. And after the holiday we see a lot of that sadness after the holiday, because the kids have been there, they've given thanks, they've had their Christmas, and then they go back to their lives, and mom or dad or both are home without the kids again. And how do we fix that? How do we move through that?
That's a good point too. So it can be not just during the holiday; it could be kind of the letdown after the holiday as well.
Right.
So what do we do with that? And I think it's important to acknowledge that things do change, and maybe that's not such a bad thing. When we have these expectations of what holidays look like, and I think for me, I go back to my ideal Thanksgiving being in New Hampshire with my aunt and uncle and tons of family around in snow, and if that is my picture of the ideal, well, I'm living in Florida now for the last almost 25 years. That picture's got to change a little bit.
Yes.
And that's
yes.
okay.
And I think it is okay for people to understand that traditions do change. I mean, as you add family members into your circle, as you lose family members from your circle, those traditions are going to change, and those expectations for the holidays are going to change. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Exactly. Sometimes change is a very good thing. I just talked to someone from Cortland, New York this morning. I recognized that 607 area code, and I said, "Oh, what is your temperature?" She said, "Well, today it's 40." but it's supposed to be colder tomorrow. And I giggled and I said, I'm sorry, but it's supposed to be 83 here tomorrow. So that is something to be happy about. We might not have the whole family around a fireplace, but we're really blessed to have some pretty beautiful weather for tomorrow.
Absolutely. And we can create new traditions with that.
Absolutely.
Go for a Thanksgiving walk.
Because we can get out and walk here.
We can. So maybe creating some new traditions.
And that's important too, that being open to those new traditions and being open to new people. We, in my family, have always been kind of very open to adopting, since we didn't have a ton of family around the town that I grew up in. We had, we kind of adopted a lot of orphans. And we love that. In our family, that's a wonderful thing. But I recently asked a friend to join us on Thanksgiving. She was very hesitant to do so because she didn't want to put anybody out.
Well, and I now that Friendsgiving has become kind of a thing for those folks that don't have family around. They're here on their own, and you're getting a bunch of different friends together and having a new type of traditional Thanksgiving with your friends,
right,
instead of your family. And I think that's a wonderful thing, especially for, we've got lots of people here in Florida that they've come here to retire. Their kids are up north, or vice versa. Parents have stayed up north and kids came down here to kind of get away from the cold, and they don't have very many friends or family in the area. So this is a way to kind of make new friends and have those connections.
Exactly.
And some new traditions.
Yes. So be open to those invitations and say yes. Don't feel like you're putting someone out, because
right.
you are opening yourself up to new friendships, like Riki said, some new traditions. And I know in our family too, we enjoy that so much because they bring different things. We've had people at Christmas. I've had people stay at my house I did not even know. But we had so much fun with them because they brought their Christmas traditions into the house. Now, my parents knew them. I didn't know them, but my parents knew them very well, so they were safe. But they brought a lot of Christmas traditions in to our home, and my kids still talk about that Christmas when they stayed with us. It was so much fun. So you're actually sometimes blessing the people that you're visiting, and you don't even know that.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people out there to understand that there are a lot of seniors who don't have family and don't have a support system in the area. If you know someone in your neighborhood that is maybe living alone, why not go over and say Happy Thanksgiving, or bring them a Thanksgiving dinner or a dessert or a piece of pie, or invite them over. You may make a new friend.
Exactly. It's a wonderful thing. So we encourage you, this holiday season to check on the seniors in your life, but check on the seniors also, in your neighborhood, your friends and your family, potential friends and family, to make sure that they are having a wonderful holiday season. And to that effect, we will segue right into Senior Santa. We have to skip over Thanksgiving for just a second, right into Christmas. Senior Santa program is actually winding down because we need to collect those presents by next week already. Next week is the beginning of December, and we will be packing those presents and taking them to seniors in skilled nursing facilities. If you don't know about the program, please go on to Helping Seniors website, their Facebook page, the Senior Resource Facebook page. Senior Santa is a program that was run by Triad for years and years and years here in the county. And Helping Seniors graciously picked up the flag when Triad disbanded last year. Helping Seniors said, yes, we will help. And what we're doing is we're following the Triad guidelines that they had set out, identifying seniors in skilled nursing facilities who are on Medicaid, who have no family, no guardian, no case manager, no one to visit them during the holidays, no one to get them those little extras that they might want and need in order to be comfortable in that nursing facility. So we have, from Vieira down to Palm Bay, we've identified 277 seniors.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow,
That really
277.
are just kind of been left in that facility and are not going to get any cheer whatsoever this holiday. So we've gotten a lot adopted. One senior place has partnered with us. They've been amazing. We've had to go refill their tree with Christmas tags 3 times.
Thank you, One Senior Place.
Yes. So they've done a great job in helping us. Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation is helping get those seniors adopted. There's still a couple of tags on the tree at the Senior Resource Center. Riki, where is the Senior Resource Center?
1344 South Apollo Boulevard, Suite 2C, Melbourne.
Yes. 4-story building. It says Omni at the top. Stop on over, grab a Senior Santa today so you can have it for Friday. You can do your Black Friday shopping and get maybe some clothes for a senior that really need it. Their wishes are pretty simple. Pants, shirts, maybe some snacks, body wash. Yes, they have soap at the facility, but they don't get the fun, really nice smelling soaps or lotions.
You don't get the fancy stuff.
Exactly. So brighten a senior's day. Stop by, grab a tag at the Senior Resource Center, go shopping, and bring it on back to us so we can make sure that it's wrapped and ready to go for all of their holiday parties at the skilled nursing facilities. If you have a question on Senior Santa, I know Miss Karen is sitting in the office right now. I don't know if she's listening, but if you have a question of how to participate in Senior Santa, you can always call Helping Seniors. And I bet, Riki, you have that number memorized.
I do.
How can they be reached?
321-473-7770.
Yes. So can you repeat that number one more time just in case somebody was running for a pencil?
321-473-7770. And Karen is wonderful, and she'll let you know exactly what you need.
Perfect. So definitely adopt one of those seniors off of our tree today. You can get some extras. Call Karen and find out how to get more information about that program, because it's a really, really worthwhile program. We don't have too many that are specific to seniors around the holidays, and so grateful for Helping Seniors for picking up that flag and running with it, and making sure that that Senior Santa program lives on here in our community.
And what a wonderful way to put a smile on someone's face for the holiday season. What a wonderful way.
And that's really, that's even something that, a lot of assisted living facilities and skilled nursing facilities are looking for volunteers and people to come in, sing, do
a craft,
caroling, exactly, over the holidays, just to brighten the residents' spirits. So that's always a wonderful thing. And if you don't know what to do to help, we love our children and we do want to help the kids too. But think about the seniors this time of year, because they also need a little cheer.
Yeah, they need a little love.
Absolutely. So that's what we want to segue into is loving and being thankful for some of the things that we have in our own lives, and also in the world of helping seniors, because helping seniors cannot do this alone. We have a lot of volunteers. We have a lot of sponsors who help in the background that you may not, things that they do that you may not see very often. So we want to make sure that you acknowledge those sponsors and those volunteers. I know Karen has, speaking of Miss Karen at the office, Karen has done a fabulous job in getting a lot of volunteers together, training them, and working with them. Every time we see them at an event at the Senior Resource Center, every volunteer is busy, but they're also always smiling.
Always smiling. They are always happy. They want to help, and they're pleasant. They're knowledgeable, and they're there because they want to be.
Absolutely.
Which is a wonderful thing.
Yes, and they really are. We get to see them probably more than most because our offices are right there in the Senior Resource Center, and we're there every day. So we get to see those volunteers on a daily basis, and they are just absolutely wonderful people.
Really,
and we're so thankful to have them there, and so thankful for Karen for coordinating all of that, getting them trained, and having them at our different events, but also having them there on a daily basis. They're the ones that actually cut out a lot of those senior Santa tags for Senior Santa. So they did.
They did all the tedious work.
Yes.
Cutting out the tags.
They did. So that was wonderful of them.
And it's always nice to walk up to a counter and see a smiling face that says, "How can I help you today?" That's always nice.
It is. It is.
So to have them there, we're very grateful.
And they're very, very helpful. So if you do need help, go over to the Senior Resource Center, pop over and say hi. There is always a friendly face behind that desk.
Yes.
Super. So let's move into some of our sponsors. We'll take some time out before the break to go over a few, because we do have a whole lot of sponsors. We've got companies that do placement, and what that means in lay terms is that these folks specializing in knowing the facilities that are here in Brevard County, the big ones and the small ones. And when you come to them, you can say, all right, I don't know what to do with Mom. There's so many things out there. Can you help me find a place that I can feel comfortable with, that I can afford, that I feel that Mom is safe in? And you can go to them, and their services are free of charge to you because they get paid by the facility.
Yeah, they really help you. They really help families to navigate that whole picking an assisted living, or picking an independent living, or picking, a memory care. They really work hard with the families to put those options together, and they make it easy.
Yeah, they take a lot of the guesswork out.
They make it easy. Yeah.
And they've got intimate knowledge where we're going in and we're maybe walking around the facility and saying, okay, this is pretty. But we don't know the ins and the outs and kind of the behind the scenes and how things work and what the regulations are, even of the levels of care that they can provide. So these folks know all of that information so that you can go in making a much more informed decision than if we tried it on our own.
Well, and I think what's really nice about the placement services out there is that they take the time to find out who the person is, to find out who the customer is, and try to match them with the right facility that's going to have the things, the activities that person might enjoy, and the services that person might enjoy. They take the time to get to know that client, and they make their recommendations based on what they learn about that client and their family.
And we're blessed to have two as sponsors for helping seniors, assisted living locators, Miss Reese. And we've had the opportunity to work with her, and we know that she really goes above and beyond to make sure that her clients have the right resources. So we're really thankful for that. And we also have Senior Care Authority.
Denise Bergman.
Miss Denise, yes, and her husband. And again, they also go above and beyond, really care for the customers. I know I recently referred Denise to a kind of a friend of a friend. I really didn't know the people, but friend of a friend, and they were so happy with the result. And unfortunately, in the end, they didn't end up needing it. Unfortunately, it was a hospice situation that went very quickly, but they were still so very thankful for the guidance and the peace of mind
absolutely
that they had with knowing that they were going to a good place and that they were in the right hands.
Well, that's a huge decision to make for any family. For any person, it's a huge decision to make where you want to spend the rest of your life. Where you want to, with help. It's a huge decision. And I think for family members, it can be overwhelming. So going to a placement service like Assisted Living Locators and Senior Care Authority takes the guesswork out of it. It helps the families to not feel so overwhelmed and find the best place for their parents.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
we've got a big category next, attorneys.
Attorneys.
The attorneys. And Carrie talks often about, don't do this on your own. And we talk about the attorneys and estate planning and wills and trusts and probate and all that good stuff. We talk about it a lot. And I know some people might be, oh my goodness, what are they talking about this again? But
it's important.
It really is. And unfortunately, Riki and I have seen it from the Seniors Helping Seniors side. When we go in to do an assessment, we always ask people, have you done your paperwork? And we encourage it. We don't do anything with it, but we know how important it is. So we tell them. And I always pick on the kids too. If I'm sitting there at the kitchen table and I'm not just talking to the senior, I'm talking to the kids that are in the room too. I'll tease them, have you done yours? Because if you're over 18, you need to have a power of attorney. You need to have a healthcare surrogate. So all of that is so important. And we have 4 that are sponsors: the law offices of Amy Van Fossen, Ruth Rhodes, Truman Scarborough up in Titusville, and Mr. William Johnson. So we have 4 really great elder attorneys. 2 are actually board certified. Mm-hmm. And they're just incredibly knowledgeable. And, it's one of those things, you don't know what you don't know. I just recently had my own updated, and I even learned something I listen to all of these things all the time. And I think I know what, how this all works and what to do and how to do it. But actually learned something new. I have 2 sons that, they're going to get my estate, but I had been advised one way for my deed on my house. And then the lawyer said, let's do it a totally different way. And this is why. Oh, well, I never thought about that before.
It's always nice to go to an expert.
Exactly.
To get those things
so
taken
it's totally
care of,
something you don't want to do on your own, because you don't want to end
No.
up in probate. You want to have your family not worry about those things at all.
Absolutely.
So we definitely want to make sure that is taken care of. So 4 great attorneys. When we come back, we're going to talk about care management and case management, and that is close to my heart because my sister doesn't have kids. So as they get older, who talks for them? If the family's no longer there, who talks for that senior who does not have anyone? So when we come back from the break, we'll talk a little bit about that and the wonderful case managers that are sponsors of Helping Seniors of Brevard County, and we'll talk a little bit more about what each of us are thankful for. So we'll talk to you. Be thinking about that, Mr. John and Miss Riki.
12:33 in the afternoon on this Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. Always a day of anticipation. It's a good one, and we're looking forward to it as well here in the studio, all of us. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard. I'm John Harper, your host of Helping Seniors. Carrie Fink is off today and this week visiting his family in Atlanta, Georgia. So filling in for today for Carrie Fink is Jennifer Barton, a familiar name and voice to those who listen to our show. Jennifer?
Thank you, John. So we've been going through and talking about the sponsors and volunteers that we have here at Helping Seniors, because we definitely couldn't do it without them. And we're so thankful for them. And we're thankful for all of the help that they give our seniors on a regular basis. Someone that I wanted to talk to is a fairly new sponsor, Siobhan over at Proclaim Communication and Rehab. She is a speech therapist. And Riki, as you know, my former life, as a teacher, I worked with a lot of speech and language pathologists. And when Siobhan first came to the offices, she had to sit down and educate me on, I know what they can do for kids, but what can we do for seniors? And, maybe the more obvious one for those of us who work with seniors a lot is after someone who's had a stroke and maybe they've got a little aphasia or maybe it's affected the muscles in their face. So a speech language pathologist, but there's many more things that a speech language pathologist can do to
help with swallowing.
Absolutely.
Problems.
So how many people do we come across that have issues swallowing larger pills? Maybe, are having problems with swallowing, some of the foods that they normally took for granted. Mm-hmm. And a speech language pathologist can help with that.
That's awesome.
I would be so super grateful for that.
I wasn't sure. I didn't know that either until Siobhan came into the office.
Yeah, so that was so helpful for us to know. So she really educated us. And now we can be even more helpful to our own clients because I didn't think about that. But oh yeah, and then have you ever noticed where sometimes as we get older, our voice diminishes, where you've had this big booming voice your whole life, and then, it's a very quiet, almost whisper?
Yeah,
She can help with that.
Really?
Yes.
That I didn't know.
How about that?
That's interesting.
Yes. So I was really intrigued by the help that she can provide. Like I said, she really educated me about the different ways that she can help a senior. And so very thankful for her to coming into the organization, kind of teaching us what the possibilities are and how she can help. They even have, believe it or not, they're going into some smell therapies.
Smell therapies.
Well, I think I need that.
That's yeah, you don't smell.
I don't. I had sinus surgery years ago, and I don't smell anything. Which, when it's boy socks, it's okay. But, smelling that pumpkin pie tomorrow would be really nice if I could.
So it's outpatient speech therapy. Does she come to your home?
She does. She goes right to the house. She does have an office space too, but she can come right to the house. She can do an assessment, and she can provide services right in the home. And I think that would be so helpful for some of our seniors, yes, who have had strokes, but also that helps swallowing.
Absolutely. That's a big one.
Being
actually.
able to have a stronger voice so you can communicate a little bit better with family and friends.
Yes.
I think that's a huge help that I really didn't know about. So grateful for her for coming on board.
Miss Siobhan at Proclaim Communication and Rehab.
Yes, we're going to skip around a little bit because we've got so many of them. We'd probably take 5 shows just to thank everyone. But how about Jillian Zebras at Chefs for Seniors?
Oh, her food is amazing. She is amazing.
And she also goes right out to the house.
Yes.
And what does she do?
Well, they prepare the meals in your home. So, and I believe that she has varying menus, and you can choose what you would like, and they prepare it right in your home. And oh my gosh, she's fabulous, and her chefs are amazing.
Yeah, very, very knowledgeable on different dietary restrictions. So if you have a medical diagnosis that you need to work with through food, like diabetes, or if you need to watch your potassium levels, she can make that happen, and you won't miss a thing.
Yeah, vegetarian,
gluten-free,
vegan, all of that good stuff. They're very conscious of that, and they work with you to come up with a menu and come up with meals.
Right. And she's cooking right there in your own home. And there is a psychology behind that of the smells of everything cooking and, whetting your appetite. Mm-hmm. So there's a whole, like I said, psychology behind it, but she is very, very good at what she does. So if you're a senior who just doesn't want to cook anymore, or maybe shouldn't be cooking anymore, maybe early stages dementia, you're still at home, but you're not comfortable in the kitchen, give Jillian a call, Chefs for Seniors. They can come out. They can make meals right in the house, but not for just that night, but for several nights. So you've got some homemade, really nutritious TV dinners, and nutrition is a huge part of health. She does a lot of education, too, of making sure that you are eating healthy, nutritious meals. So it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
With Miss Jillian.
Absolutely.
One of the next ones that I did want to talk about is the medical research. So,
okay.
Clin Cloud.
Mm-hmm. Merritt Island, Flourish on Merritt Island. Flourish Medical Research.
Yeah, they're now Flourish. So, Clin Cloud has been a sponsor now for a while, and they do also a great job in giving us hope. Now, all of that research that's going into Alzheimer's and dementia, we're actually seeing the fruit of that research for the first time in probably 30 years. We have a brand new medication. We have some blood tests. We have things that we can do to help prolong or postpone, maybe is a better word. But we've had them come in and talk. Dr. Biban from Clean Cloud came in and talked to us and all of our caregivers about what we can do today to have a healthy lifestyle, speaking of nutrition, so that we can prevent.
I was just going to say nutrition, exercise. It's very important.
50%, they're saying now 50%, even if you have the markers for dementia, 50% is diet and exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So we probably need to come back in January and do a healthy,
yes,
a healthy diet nutrition as they're showing me their donuts across the window from us. But we'll wait till January for that show.
No, and Clean Cloud is wonderful. We when they did come to our office, they did. We took the memory tests.
Yes,
and one of the things that a lot of times people are a little bit afraid to take those memory tests. Don't be afraid.
No, we did it too.
We did it too. And it really is important to catch those things early so that you can take steps to hold off that.
Because there are things we can actually do about it now. Where
there are.
Even 10 years ago, they couldn't have said that, but now there is. So that early diagnosis is super important so that we can, get the medications, get the diet and exercise going, do things to help prevent and prolong.
Be proactive.
Absolutely.
Be proactive. So, don't be scared of taking that memory test. It's just a test, and it gives you a baseline, and now you know what you need to do to sort of hold off those cognitive changes.
Oh, absolutely. We want to make sure that we're doing all of that so that we don't have to, maybe move into memory care. But if we do have some wonderful sponsors that do that as well.
Yes.
So we have a number of assisted living, senior living facilities that partner with us. Buena Vida Estates, we've held some events over there. Beautiful continuing care community. I'm losing a neighbor to Buena Vida. I'm sad because she's the sweetest thing ever. She was just over last night, but she's going to be moving in and she just can't wait. She's got a cute apartment and she's going to have all of her meals taken care of and a lot of socialization. She's going to thrive.
Place. It is a beautiful place. Wonderful people over there too.
Her. Yeah. Palm Cottages, assisted living, and I believe they also have a memory care cottage.
Yes, they do. And go see Loretta over there at Palm Cottages. She's wonderful. Palm Cottages is interesting because each cottage has its own kitchen and its own chef. And it's like you were talking about, there was a whole psychology behind having a chef cooking for you in your home. The smell, helps to increase your appetite and things like that. So at Palm Cottages, in each cottage, they have a centralized kitchen. They have their own kitchen and their own chef that's there that knows what the dietary issues are for the folks that are in that cottage. And they make their meals right there where everybody all of the residents are there in the cottage. They can smell that cooking. And, gives them the appetite, gives them the impetus to go into and sit in the dining room. Okay, what's for dinner?
There you go.
So I think that's a wonderful model.
See, and that's where those placement companies come in because every facility is a little bit different, and knowing those differences is huge. And having that knowledge, because what's going to fit my mom or my dad the best, or what's going to fit me the best, which one I would like to be in. Another major sponsor, long time sponsor, Zon Beachside, and speaking of chefs, their food has always been amazing.
Phenomenal.
Wonderful activity staff. They've got the assisted living, they've got the memory care, and now they've got their residences at Zon. And if you have been up there, Boy, is that beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I would move in tomorrow.
It is beautiful.
If they would let me.
And the folks that work there at Zahn, the caregivers, the administrator, everybody that works there is just amazing. And
Caring,
they really, kind, compassionate. And it's a fun place too. The times that we've been there, we had sponsored a sock hop there.
We did.
And
we came in costume
and everybody was dancing. The caregivers were dancing and interacting with residents, and everybody just was having such a good time. They know their residents really well over there, and it's a beautiful place. Beautiful place.
So it's so much fun to kind of go through this list and think about the wonderful people that really are in our senior industry and that help support helping seniors. It's a family. And you kind of get to know all of these people, and we've referred back and forth to one another, and they help us out, on a regular basis at helping seniors, not only with their sponsorships, but with their help and their support, their volunteering. They're volunteering at the Muscle Car Museum. They're volunteering at our different events. Sometimes it's just hey, this senior needs this. Where do we go? Like, I don't have a referral for this. I don't have a resource, but I think you do. And if Karen's stuck, she can call any of these people and find out the best resource for that situation for that person. So it is, when you're calling that helpline, you are getting the knowledge of all of these people combined.
Yes, I think it's wonderful. And we are so grateful to helping seniors for that helpline. Because I think there are a lot of seniors in our county that just don't know where to turn, don't know who to call. So, when in doubt, call Helping Seniors, because they will have an answer for you.
And if they don't, they will find it.
They will find it.
Exactly. And give you a call back and follow up and make sure that you did get the help that you needed.
Absolutely.
So insurance, open enrollment, health insurance.
Happening now.
I used to sell insurance way back when.
Yeah.
But I did property and casualty. So this whole life and health, oh my gosh, it is, I know enough to know I don't know. So you really need to call somebody. And I hear across the window them yelling, Vicki Moore. Absolutely. If you are doing Medicare, Vicki Moore, More Insurance Solutions, she has been doing this for almost 10 years now, I think. She's there in the Senior Resource Center, but I know she meets people at home. She's a busy lady. She is out and about and all over. And it is fabulous. A busy time of year for her right now because she's talking to lots of people, making sure that they have the right plan at the right price. And, every year you have to look at what changes, and there were a lot of changes with Medicare this year. So based on those changes, is the plan that you're on still the right one for you? And on your medications, the formularies change. Unfortunately, and I know this with mom and dad too, they're obviously on Medicare, and it's not simple. You'd think, it's the golden years. We're just going to make this really easy for everybody. No,
it's not. It's not.
It's complicated.
My mom, every year, she's wading through insurance paperwork and trying to figure out what plan's going to be the best for them this year.
Exactly. So you really want to make sure that you're going to someone who understands and knows what they're doing. So we've got several health insurance, Medicare marketplace insurance folks that can help you weed through that. We've also got Laura Peary, who also does Medicare, but she also does long-term care. Yes. And, that has changed. That industry has changed a lot. Way back when I was in insurance till now, it has really evolved, and they had fabulous policies in the beginning, and then they lost their shirts and they had horrible policies, and now they're kind of reinventing themselves. And she's talked about a few really different, unique approaches that are actually affordable.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's good to know.
'Cause I know-
Long-term care policies are they can be really wonderful when you're in your older years, and when you need that help. They can be they really are wonderful things, but that's something that you have to talk with them about now.
Oh, exactly.
So, you know,
I remember when I was 40, maybe I was 45, I went and looked at a policy, and it was going to be $400 a month. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I could afford that, I would just put that $400 a month into an investment plan and leave it alone. And I would have my long-term care right there. But, 2 kids, house, mortgage, no, it was just $400 a month was not in the budget at that point. But she's got some really unique and different ways of looking at long-term care. So really looking forward to sitting down with her and learning more, so I'm a little bit more knowledgeable and can pass that information on to our clients and to our caregivers who are seniors themselves. So they might be looking at that of, okay, in the next 10, 20 years, this is something that I might need. So it'd be great for us to know more about that. So thankful that Laura Peary is on board and kind of thinking outside the box on how to take care of people.
Yeah. Good. And Jerry Hadlock.
Yep.
He's been around for quite a while. Medicare Solutions.
Care Plus. And
Care Plus.
now we've got Health Plan Marketplace, Bruce Williams. So thankful for all of them.
Yes.
Yes. One of the, I guess, biggest categories that we have is home care.
Yes.
Like us at Seniors Helping Seniors, but so us at Seniors Helping Seniors, we are the homemaker companion care. We're kind of the first step into home care, but we've got a lot of other home care companies that we work with here at the Senior Resource Center and Helping Seniors that can do the hands-on. People like VIP Home Care, Visiting Home Care, Synergy Home Care, Family Home Care of Central Florida, yes, and Aqua Home Care. So there is somebody there. You've got so many great options just within our sponsors. There's someone there who can help, and they all have their own unique personalities. So you will find a fit for you.
You absolutely will. And the great thing about the in-home care companies that we work with are, if they can't cover something, or if they are not the good fit for you, they're going to tell you. And they're going to say, you may want to talk to so-and-so because they might be a better fit for your needs.
Absolutely.
And, they really are wonderful people who really want to help.
I know we did that recently. We had a need for a male caregiver up in Cape Canaveral, Cocoa Beach area. And we just didn't have... We had one, but we didn't have enough. And so I called around to all of these sponsors and said, hey, do you have? And we kind of did the legwork for the client so that we could call them back and say, okay, we found somebody who fits the bill, and we're able to provide that service for them. Even though it wasn't us, we made sure that they were taken care of. And on all of these folks, all of these sponsors are good people, and they're going to do the same.
They are, yes, absolutely. And one of the things that, if assisted living is is not an option, and that's not something that you want to do, Aqua Home Care actually does have live-in caregivers. So that's another option. If you ever, if you were thinking about, you didn't want to go into an assisted living, but you do need care and want care in the home, they have live-in homemakers. They have live-in caregivers too, 24/7. So, there are all kinds of options for in-home care.
Absolutely. So that we were talking about those navigators. If you call Karen, she can help you navigate that home care too, and what that looks like, and from us at Homemaker Companion all the way to that 24/7. But we need to go back to that care management. We talked about it right before break, and I want to make sure that we get that in there before we go. because it is near and dear to my heart. We see so many seniors nowadays that don't have family nearby, or maybe the family is estranged, or maybe unfortunately they're in that position where everyone else around them has passed and they're kind of on their own. So who talks for me? There's a care manager, or a case manager, sometimes they call them, senior navigator, sometimes they call them. There are wonderful people out there that will help you, guide you through that. And we're so incredibly thankful for them, because we've got one right now that is helping a client who's didn't go to the attorney, didn't take care of business, and unfortunately left an adult daughter with a disability kind of on her own.
Yes, she was kind of on her own and didn't really have much knowledge of even what was in the bank, even
how
what
to
she
navigate.
had access to, and she didn't know how to navigate that. So
So thankful that Danica from Advocates the Aging came in, stepped in, and is really helping her out and navigating all of that with her, and making sure that she's got the services that she needs, but also the support that she needs, in making good decisions for herself. And we also have Karen at Emerald Care Management and Total Long-Term Care Consultants. And I think advocates and total long-term care consultants can even go from case management all the way up to guardianship if that's necessary. And
that
just
I didn't know.
Wonderful, caring people who can really be incredibly knowledgeable, who can really come in, hopefully not in a pinch, but they can come in a pinch. In this case, they did for us, and really helped our client out. But we're so thankful for all of our sponsors. We're thankful for a wonderful year at helping seniors of Brevard County, and looking forward to next year, where we're going to have an even better year.
Absolutely.
One thing that's coming up in December, mark it on your calendars, December 10th. Is the fiesta at Zahn Beachside. It is going to be our holiday party. So December 10th from, let's see, I want to make sure I get the time correct. 10:30, right? 10:30 to 12. So helping seniors holiday event, the December 10th. 10:30 to 12. Yes, 10:30 to 12. So 10:30 in the morning, having a wonderful holiday get together. Normally we do our Thursday events at the Senior Resource Center, but for December, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday, December 10th, over at Zahn Beachside. They're going to provide us some wonderful food. We're going to have a great morning out. I think we're going to be up at the residences up on that 4th floor, beautiful view, gorgeous facility. So
I haven't been in there yet.
It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It'll give you a chance to get out, socialize a little bit, have some fun holiday cheer, see those residences, because it is absolutely beautiful. There's a rooftop pool up there. Don't bring your bathing suit, Ricky.
Oh, wow.
You have to
really?
behave. Yeah, you have to behave.
Man.
The really, really fun night. So please mark your calendar for that and come out to see everybody on December 10th, which is a Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. over at Zahn Beachside, which is on South Patrick. If you do need more information about that event or any event, Riki, how do you reach Helping Seniors of Brevard?
You simply call 321-473-7770.
Absolutely. Give Karen a call, or one of the volunteers, and they will be glad to help you out. John Harper, did you think about what you are thankful for this year?
Just being alive.
Absolutely. We're happy about that
too. Good health. My health continues, and I'm happy about that. And we're fighting the war and winning. So with my health, so that's something I'm very happy about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very thankful for that.
Yep.
Very good. How about you, Miss Riki?
I am thankful for my family and my friends. I am thankful for you, Miss Jennifer.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I'm very thankful for all of our wonderful clients and all of the people that we help. I'm glad that we get to do that. I'm thankful. to be in this position.
Aw, we do get a fun job, don't we?
We do.
So thankful for helping seniors, thankful for this radio station, for allowing us to air, thankful for everyone here on the radio station with us.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.